every human is going to experience from going to one destination to the other. And a lot of times, our main focus and priority is to getting to that destination. But we forget how important it is on the path that we choose to walk on. My name is Tyler Medina, and you're watching Newpath. Put up in the bed. What is up, everybody? This video's intent and purpose is to be able to share what this channel is going to be about. The heart posture, the backstory on this idea and how it got started, and why I'm choosing now to start venture into this idea. Let's take it back to 2020. COVID was just coming up on the rise, and I was in my church's parking lot just playing some basketball by myself. And I noticed a billboard in the distance. And I noticed on the billboard, it was promoting things that wasn't Christ-like. And even if you aren't a believer, you can see that the things that were being promoted was very demonic and evil and had ill intent. And it broke me and it frustrated me to say, man, why is it that people in this world can promote things that are evil and harmful and we don't say anything about it? And that a lot of times we feel like we have to conform to these things. See, a lot of times companies and people and businesses will promote things that are unknowingly demonic and have evil intent, and we as consumers and as people support these things, and we give our money and our time and our energy into it. But why do we do so? All these things led me into a question. God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to create? What can I do to glorify you? And so that people can see, instead of seeing all these evil things, they're going to see Jesus. Now, this led me to seeing a whole bunch of doors. Some of these doors were close. Some of these doors were in a distance. And I said, Lord, I see these doors, but how do I get to it? And that's where the name Newpath came. Because I realized that there's many blessings and things that we want to go to, but we don't see the importance of the path that we take matters for how quick or how holy or how righteously we get to that destination. We are called to create a path. We are called to pave a way like John the Baptist. And it's not for me, and it's not for you, and it's not for any title or platform, but it's so that we can make a way for who Jesus is, so that he can have an impact in our lives. In this generation and in this time that we live in, we do things very quickly. We want things rapid and fast. You see the content that's being put out, it's in your face. It's boom, sound effects and flashy transitions and all these things that are going around. But we lost the value and the beauty of patience, of being slow and enjoying the process. See, the Bible tells us our life is like a vapor in the wind. We're here today, we're gone tomorrow. And so society has put us in this pressure of trying to get to the next thing. Okay, I accomplished this thing that I worked so hard for. I don't get time to enjoy it because I have to worry about what's next. I completed this assignment, now what's next? But the beauty of life is not the destination, but the beauty of life is really in the path that you take, the memories that you make, the people that you meet. The beauty is in the struggle. The beauty is in the ups and the downs, the hard, the easy, the laughs, the cries, the confusion, the moments of clarity. That's the beauty of life. But that doesn't happen at the destination. It happens on the path that we take. Many of us focus on the doors. We focus on the end goal. We focus on the destination and the blessing that we're working towards. But the path is just as important. We can take a look at so many famous people and say, wow, look at where they got. Look how successful they became. And we look at their lives and say, man, that's so amazing. But when we talk to these people and we can see so many interviews where these celebrities, these musicians, these artists, people who have achieved something that many would say is a great thing. We look at that and we look at the destination and the end point. But for them themselves, they would rather show you and talk about the journey because that's where the beauty was. So let's take this back to Jesus. Jesus knew that he had to go to the cross. Jesus knew that there was a destination of something that he was going to do to free humanity. For all who believe in their hearts and confess with their tongue that Jesus Christ is Lord, there's something more to that. But it wasn't just the end goal. It wasn't just the cross. That was the beauty and the important part of Jesus's life. But what's so important and beautiful was the things in between, was the mornings that he had with just him and the Father, was the moments that he had with the disciples as a group, was with the moments that he had with disciples one-on-one, or 1-3 or 1-2. It was those moments that we look and we read in the Gospels what Jesus's life was. And so it wasn't just what Jesus would do, but it's what he did every single day. And it was the path that he took. See, I'm reminded of the woman at the well. That woman could have took any other path to get to any other well, but she took the path that she chose at the time that she did. And Jesus could have also took many other paths to many different cities and places and regions and wells and areas that could have been suitable. So to tie in with everything I just said, I remember one time being at a place where I was so confused. I had all these dreams and desires and saying, God, I want these things to glorify you. I want these things to show people who you are. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get started. I didn't know how far these things will last in my life. And I remember praying in the shower, and God took me to a white room where it was just me, and I saw all this fog all around me, engulfing me. And I looked down and I saw these red arrows going out from all different directions. And these arrows represented different things. Some of these arrows were narrow. Some of these arrows were wide. Some of these arrows went far. Some of these arrows were very short. Now, I asked God, Lord, what does this mean? What is this showing me? What does this represent? And the Lord showed me the width of the arrow was how hard or difficult these things would be. So if it was a very wide arrow, it was easy because it was easy to stay on the arrow and to not lose my footing and fall off. But there were also arrows that were very, very narrow. And he was showing that these narrow arrows would be very difficult to progress in, that I would have to make sure that my footing is in the right place. Now, the distance of the arrow showed where my current skill level with this thing was. For example, something like drums I've been doing my whole life. The arrow was very far and distant because I already progressed in it. But something that might have been new, like singing or dancing, the arrow was very near to me because I have not yet poured a lot of time and effort into it. So this showed me, Lord, I need to walk on a path to get to the destination because I can only see the arrows and how difficult the journey might be and where my starting point is. But I don't know how far it is until I get to the destination. So many of us are called to create great things for the Lord, whether that be a clothing brand, whether that be music, whether that be going out and helping people to develop in talents, whether that be to, whatever it is that you love and you desire and you feel like, there's just a greater calling in this area to my life. But it doesn't happen by you following people and by you recreating what already exists. But it happens when you decide to say, Lord, I'm going to partner with you to create something new. The concept is like John the Baptist. John the Baptist, it wasn't about him. It wasn't about John the Baptist ministry. It wasn't about what could he get out of it. But he created a way so that Jesus can now walk on it, show people his glory, and show that the Messiah has arrived. It's the same thing for us. Whatever the Lord has called you to create, you need to create a new path to partner with the Lord and saying, God, give me the ideas, give me the wisdom, give me all that I need to help create a new way for people to venture into and to getting to a destination so that they can reap the goodness of God and to develop a relationship with Jesus. So I'm not here because I desire to be the greatest YouTuber. I'm not here because I have the flashiest edits and transitions. I'm not here even because I believe that anything I share is going to be the best. I'm here to just share my journey, my failures, my mistakes, the difficulties. But I want you to see that if God could use somebody like me, he could use somebody like you. That in my efforts, the things that work for me, it might teach you something. I might be doing something with fitness or with music that may have no correlation to you in a sense of directness. But you might be able to learn something that implements wisdom and guidance in the area that the Lord is calling you to. So I'm not here to tell people how to live. I'm just here as a man and as a vessel of God to say, hey, I'm going to be on my journey creating a new path so that Jesus can be glorified and shown more on this earth through various different things that I believe the Lord has called me to. And in ties with that, I am praying and believing that seeds will be planted and that it will inspire and help equip others who might be going on something similar or in a different area but have some correlation in it. My heart is to share that the Lord is calling you to start a new path so that other people can see the glory of God, not just in heaven, but here on earth. My name is Tyler Medina, and will you join me on starting a new path to pave a way for Jesus? God bless.